Bare hooks and tight hooks. Fight wolf, head side, get leans out. Pressure rise, sub soldier beat down. The referee sound. More manic degrees and cause panic and beats. Where the baddest, these moves they can't manage. Rock the drum, twist the belly, do damage, 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 damage. Right stuff, go round for round, they wanna bite bust. Be the first to bust, you in the fight. To the fight club. Welcome to the fight club.
Of the General's Handbook. This time around I want to give you a brief look at the German faction in the game, what units they bring to the table and how they use it. For this I've set up the Battle of Faeria mission, just to show you the beginning of the mission. Here we have some tanks ready and some very iconic units for the Germans. So of course we have Tiger 1E here. We have several variants of the Panzer IV, Panzer IV-H, Panzer IV-G. We have the Panther A here, very nice setup. We have a Jagdpanzer 4 here, and also we have Panzerwehr 42, which is a very nice long-range artillery unit. We have a Wirbelwind, also special anti-aircraft gun units there, and some of the iconic trucks of the age as well, like the Opel Blitz supply vehicle here. Also, what we see here at the beginning of the mission, we have a downed elephant here, so it actually lacks a crew and some repairs and some ammunition as well. So let's get some of our boys working on this as well, get them in here. Try to use this tank. As soon as we set up a crew in it, the Opel Blitz supply vehicle guys will come out and start resupplying it with ammunition, and I will bring in the repair vehicle as well, so we can get rid of the problems with the engine and the tracks as well. So as soon as we bring that up and running again, we can use the elephant, one of the biggest units we have in the game as well. Very iconic for the age as well, and a real monster if you see it plowing through the fields of France. Let's jump into another mission actually, which is the Bulge mission. Yeah, in the Bulge mission we can actually see more of the late war units there as well. Let's jump in here. Bulge, as you know, one of the last big pushes of the Germans to try to break out of the already besieged area around Germany into the dense forests section. And in this, of course, they bring out like the last reserves of really strong late war tank units that they have. For example, like the Panther D variant here, a very nice, really strong tank. But of course, the iconic King Tiger here as well, really a monster of a tank, and really strong here as an elite version as well. One thing I'd like to point your attention to here is that the Armored Commander also has the ability to use improvised armor for their units. In the case of the Germans, they actually put spare chain links to and some steel appliances here to their hulls of the tanks to actually reduce the risk of critical hits in this. Actually, all the other factions use different improvised armor. The Allied faction uses well, sandbags on their tanks, and the Soviets use improvised armor using wooden logs. So that is something very interesting and makes for a very unique look for each faction. Let's get the strong units rolling here a bit. There's some allies waiting in the tree lines here, but I think the Shermans don't really stand a chance against this really huge King Tiger rolling through the snow here. I'd like to show you at the end of this little video a cool small feature that we have in the game, and I'll show you that in the mission Operation Barbarossa, which most of you will know is the big push of the German forces into heartland of the Soviet Union. Around 3 million German soldiers being part of this attack, and the Germans actually in a lot of this used blitzkrieg tactics with this. So they would try to push through the enemy defense lines and then mop up the rest of the defenses from the backside so quickly with their really strong and versatile tank units that sometimes the enemy didn't even know what hit them. So in this case, you will see here that there's a strong Soviet defense line here. I have already broken through parts of this, what you will see is that as soon as I start mopping up the rest of the enemy units here, you will see that some of the units in the trenches will actually give up, put up their hands to surrender to my units. You see here the crew of the 45mm anti-tank gun is also giving up. You might think that this is a scripted event, and yes, it is much likely to actually happen in this particular mission, but that is because actually it is a dynamic system. So whenever an AI group encounters one of your units or a group of your units, they will evaluate if they can win the fight or not. If they can't, then it depends on what kind of morale they have, or let's say what kind of how brave they are. This is a setting that we give them. If the units are very brave, have a setting of a high braveness, let's say, then they will actually fight much longer, even if they think that the odds are against them. But if the units are not so brave, or we put them as being not so brave, like in this instance, then you would actually be able, you would actually see them giving up much quicker than normally. So they will actually surrender, or they will call in help. So in this case, the Russians see that you're actually coming from the backside and with a lot of firepower of the German Wehrmacht, and they are giving up in this particular case. And yes, you'll be able to set all these settings for AI controlled units in the modding tools that we'll be providing at launch as well. So please come back for the third part of this faction part of the General's Handbook, which will focus on the Soviet forces in Sun Spectrum.
Discover the Adventure Pouch Over Sky, featuring a first-of-its-kind co-op campaign. Team up with either friends or powerful Faeria characters and discover a ton of new content, including more than 30 new cards. Join now to experience the Emperor's daily challenges and reap exclusive rewards. Explore the Oversky and reap the rewards today.